Hello, how are you? My name is Samantha and this is my podcast. I'm coming to you from Loughborough in England, where I live with my two kids and my dog, who is there in case you hear weird noises or see movement. It's the dog. She's kind of unconscious at the minute though, so hopefully she will stay that way. She can be a bit of a terror. So yeah, this is my crafty podcast where I do normally try to record weekly, but I missed last week because the kids were off on Easter break. And when the kids are home and the weather was quite nice, which means we did not get a lot of crafting done, and I didn't have time to record. It's also Tuesday. It's the 29th of April. I'll normally record on Mondays, but I was absolutely exhausted last night. The kids went back to school yesterday and I thought, oh great, I'll have time to catch up on everything. And I caught up on so much stuff that by the time it got to the evening, I was just shattered and could not record at all. So here we are today on Tuesday, recording my podcast. So what have we got today? I don't have any finishes today. I was actually in two minds whether to record today or not, but I don't want to get out the habit of recording again because then it makes it much harder for me to start. So this may be a short episode. It depends how much I waffle. If you've been here before, you will know I tangent, I waffle. I have ADHD, so we have like 12 conversations going through the head at once. It's fine. My hair, I have gone pink again, as you can see. Very pink and summery. I do quite like it. I actually quite like the blonde, but I think I prefer the pink. So I think we're going to try keeping it pink. Nothing to do with crafting, but pink hair. Let's see, what do we have today? We have a bit of knitting, a bit of crochet, a bit of cross stitch, and that's about it. I need to try and get myself back into some kind of routine because I need to get my glasses fixed as well. I'm sorry, I know it's really, really annoying. It annoys me as well. I need to get my glasses fixed because they've come very, very loose for whatever reason. Either my glasses have come loose or my head has shrunk. I'm not sure which. But either way, my glasses keep falling down my nose and it's very, very annoying because I have to keep doing this constantly. I'm debating getting contacts again because I used to wear contacts all the time, but I did used to go outside and I don't really go outside anymore. But also see the glare. I have to have the big light on because there's like no natural light comes in this house at all. Ah, dear. Okay, I'm going to stop waffling out and actually show you some stuff. I'll start off with the cross stitch because it's on top of the pile and it's only one bit. And that is my head. But see, it's looking pretty good. I managed to get about 1,000 stitches in this, which is kind of significant amount, but also not really. And I need to start working on this a lot more and try and get some decent amount finished. This is my Heaven and Earth Designs stitch along. You can no longer get the patterns. They are specifically for the stitch along. I'm not even finished my first page in it yet, and I need to have 6 pages finished by the end of the year in order to qualify and get all the rest of the patterns from the stitch along. I've spoken about this many, many times in previous videos, so I don't really want to go over it again. But yeah, it's a stitch along. You stick 6 pages of a certain chart that you pick in December, and if you manage to stitch those 6 pages by the end of the year, you get the other 11 patterns that were in there. So that's what I'm going for. But I've not been stitching on it. I've not been stitching on anything really. I had grand plans for the amount of stitching that I was going to get done, and I just haven't had time. I do not know where the days go into these days. Time is just flying. Well, I know where quite a lot of it went, which I'll show you in a minute. Another one that I'm going to show you is my scrappy blanket, which I do believe last time I only had like a few rounds of thread in. I was working this from, I think I showed you last time, because I had started originally, this is all my scrappy 4-ply wool and wool blends. So I had started originally on a corner to corner moss stitch, and then the edges were going wonky on that, so I decided that I wasn't going to do that anymore. And then I started this one, which is a half double crochet. However, I have also decided I do not want to carry on with this one because it's not going to be big enough, and I want this one just to go on my bed. So what I then did was broke the yarn, and because I had been working this one straight off the first blanket that I did, and so I broke the yarn, so that's now a separate entity, and I spent almost an entire day on and off rolling this up, because like I say, it's all 4-ply, it's all wool. Some of them are quite difficult to frog, so it took a while. And I have started just doing a giant granny square, giant solid granny square. So I'll take my stitch mark and I'll put it on now. This is my current desk project because it's super easy just to pick up and do a few stitches on while I'm sitting at my desk. Usually while I'm playing World of Warcraft, when I'm flying around, or when I'm doing stuff that I have to wait on whatever, I'll pick this up and do it. And this is all the bits and bobs I have at the moment. So as you can see, I've got a couple of cakes in there. I've got lots of balls that have not been made into cakes yet. And I have this. So I'm hoping it's going to be a fairly decent size. I want it to be big enough to cover my bed, because in the winter time I like to have layers. I'm using a 3mm Clover and More hook, and it's in my very posh Sainsbury's bag that has a peacock on it. So there we go, scrappy blanket. The other blanket that I'm working on, and this is, to be fair, what has been taking up quite a lot of my time. This is a blanket that I designed for my 10-year-old who is obsessed with Geometry Dash, which is a computer game which I was under the impression, when he explained it to me the first time, he tried to play it off. It's an educational game, it's to help with my maths. It's not. But it's a fun game and he likes it. So it's upside down. They have level. It's essentially, you're a little block and you have to bounce through these levels and like avoid pitfalls and things. It's a bit like, oh, what's the spaceship game? There was like an old Atari spaceship game where you just have to go through and like you press the space bar to move up and down and avoid the obstacles. It's like that, but if you sort of plug it in to lots of caffeine and LSD, that's what Geometry Dash is. The levels in it are called demons. So this is what we have. Oh, so far. Ooh. And this is one of the demons. There are no demons in the levels. I don't know why there are demons involved in it at all. But this is where I was last time, so I've done all of that. Now, I do believe I had mentioned before, and I put up a separate video about this, about me doing this as a 30-day challenge in April to get it finished. What I did not take into account was I was going to have to spend 2 to 3 hours a day to do the amount of crocheting that I needed to do. Right, let me finish telling you about it first. It's all done in Style Craft Special DK. This is Midnight. We also have Raspberry, Claret, Jaffa. It's a pattern I designed myself. It is very, 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 this is the back. I'm carrying all the yarn because it is too much of a mess for bobbins. The colour changes are too frequent for bobbins. Okay, so April challenge. I had decided I was going to do this as a 30-day challenge in April, not taking into consideration the fact that the kids are going to be off school and I actually have to do other things. Normally sitting down and having 2 hours out of the day to do crochet, especially if I'm doing it and recording it and doing it for content and things, you know, it's technically work. So I'm going to move that marker actually while we're talking. So yeah, it turns out that having a base of a couple hours a day crocheting is fine when the kids are not here. When the kids are here, trying to get a couple hours of sitting down, because it's not even like I can do other stuff while I'm doing it. It's a very, very concentrated, because the colour changes are so frequent. So it's not, I'm trying to get this on. It's on now. Because the colour changes are so frequent and there's a lot of counting involved, I actually really have to concentrate and pay attention to it. And you just can't do that when you've got 2 kids. I mean, they're not tiny, they're 10 and 13, but they're just constant like, mom, 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 like all day. So it ends up that the only time I could do it was at night time, and by the time it gets to night time, I'm too tired for that level of concentration. So the 30-day challenge is out the window, and I'm just going to keep working on it and trying. The thing was though, at the start, before the kids were on holiday, I was actually doing my rows every day and I was making progress, but then it gets to the stage where it's like, right, you have to do, I think it was like 6 rows a day or something. And then it was, oh well, you've missed the day, so now you need to catch up with that. But the amount of catching up I was having to do was just making it ridiculous. And yeah, it got to a point where I would have had to spend all day, every day, just working on that blanket and not doing anything else at all whatsoever. And that's not fun for anybody. So while I would like to set myself some daily goals for it again, just to make sure I'm doing it, I think I'm going to set my daily goals at just doing something like a minimum of 2 rows a day or something like that, because I want to get it done. I mean, I really want to get it done. It should have been done months ago. But at the same time, I can't just dedicate hours a day to it at the moment. So hopefully we'll see some progress on that. And it'll be done kind of soon. I think I'm about 2/3 of the way through. And then any yarn that's left over, I'm just going to put it as a border, and then it's going to get backed in fleece, because that's what he has requested. Oh, so there's that one. Oh dear. Right, in my little basket, let's see what we have in here. No, let's not see what we have in there yet, because I've got other things to quickly go through. I have sock. Woo. Vanilla sock. This is made with Lidl yarn. Now, I think I had showed you these before. My unicorn, I don't know if you can see them. I had to get new needles, so I was trying these unicorn ones. I think, are they Addies? I think they're Addies. They might not be. They're unicorn ones anyway. And they're actually really nice. They're really comfy. The join is okay. This yarn though is so weird. So this is stuff that I got from Lidl, and while I was working it, I'm thinking, you know, it feels very, very thick. but I did a wrap test on it. It's coming up as 4-ply, like fingering weight, normal sock yarn weight. It's not particularly stretchy or anything like that, so I was like, okay. And I've just done my normal 64 and it seems fine in the width. However, normally I do toe-up socks, and normally between this marker and this marker, where I finish the toe and start the heel, I normally have 68 rounds. These have 56 rounds, I think. I could count them. Yeah, I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 56 rounds in the foot. I've measured it and I've remeasured it. I've measured it against my other socks. I've measured it against my actual foot. And 56 rounds. So there's definitely something going on with the yarn. It's quite nice to work with. It's not splitty or anything. It's just woolly sock yarn. And it's coming up quite nice. But look, my stitches look quite big, don't they? I don't know what to say about it. But I'm going to try and get these finished today. I've got another little nugget somewhere as well in my bag, which is over there somewhere. I've got another little nugget of this because when I was winding it, because the bottle had fallen apart, when I was winding it, there was a break in the yarn. So I do have another nugget that's a bit bigger than this, but it should be plenty to finish these off. And see, that's the other thing. It's an 80-gram ball, and normally 80 grams would get me a pair of socks, and this is one sock, and I have this, and the other nugget's just a little bit bigger. Like, clearly not enough to get another sock, and I'm not even finished the first one yet. So, I don't know. It's all very weird. But they were cheap, and the sock yarn came in a pack of 2. So, we'll need to see. It did come labelled as 4-ply. And I did a wrap test on it, and the wraps per inch came up as 4-ply as well. It's fine. It's socks, it's not the end of the world. Right. Now, the next thing that I'm going to show you is the other thing that I have been working on quite a lot. I'm doing a test. Now, it's a test knit and a test crochet. And you get to pick what one you want to do. Come on. You can do it. I'll show you it on my knit companion. It is this. It's this Smile-A-Done cowl. And I don't have it on here, but we're doing the test inside an Instagram group. And the pattern for that she has designed from a Smile-A-Done skull. So that's why it looks a little bit skull-like. Smile-A-Done is what most people think of as a saber-toothed tiger. So there you go. Now, I had started off doing the crochet version, and then I was having issues with my fingers because this is a thing. Apparently it's a perimenopause thing where sometimes I wake up and my fingers, it feels like my joints are just some kind of painful aching jelly substance, and my fingers just don't really do what I want them to do. And I was having a couple of days like that. It's like they're not sore as such. They just have like weird aching feeling, and they just don't work properly. Like, not to the point of being dangerous. I can still make coffee and stuff like that, which, you know, is very important. But it's just like fine motor skill stuff that can be a bit like what's the word? Come on, brain. Cooperative? Maybe? So, because the crochet one is done in 4-ply with a small hook, it wasn't going particularly well for me. So I thought, you know what, I'll try doing the knit one, because the knit one is done in DK yarn, and you know, knitting's not as fiddly as crochet for colour work. So these are the yarns that I had picked. I did a grayscale test on them, and grayscale test says, yeah, this is great. This should be a really nice contrast. If you don't know what the grayscale test is, if you want to know whether colours are going to work in colour work, you lay the colours out and then you get your phone and then you put a grayscale filter over it, like a black and white filter. And if the colours look very, very different, they'll be good for colour work. If they look kind of similar, like the more contrast there is between the colour, the better they are for colour work. And the more similar the colours look under the grayscale filter, the more subtle the effect will be. So I put these on the grayscale, and I thought, God, we're getting tangled. Because this one's got like tiny little flecks of a similar colour, but mostly it's dark. Except when I knitted it up, and I'm going to rip this out because this is how far I'd got, and as you can see, you can't really see the pattern. Let's see if I could find. Right, so there's one pattern repeat there, and you can't see the pattern, can you? It all kind of blends in. The yarn is lovely, the yarn is beautiful. That is not an issue with the yarn. It's me and my rubbish colour picking skills. So this one you can't get anymore. This is called Peacock from Yorkshire Dale Yarn. They no longer dye, and it is a superwash merino DK 225 meters, pretty standard stuff. It's just different shades of turquoisey blue. It's looking somewhat bright on the camera. I mean, it is bright, it's peacock, but it's not like as neon. You can see the different shades there. It's not quite as neon as it's showing up on there. And this one is from one of my favourite dyers. It is Gamer Crafting. There we go. And this is called Sentinel Ravens. If you go onto Gamer Crafting website at the minute, she's doing, there we go, Sentinel Ravens. I'm going to focus. There we go. I know it's back to front, I'm sorry. I'm still working on the phone because I don't have my camera set up. And as you can see, this is all like pink, where are we going? Pinks and blues and blacks and greys. And it's a lovely colour, really beautiful yarn. So if you go into her website at the minute, her yarn is very reasonably priced in the first place. But she does packs, and she does full skein, she does half skein, she does minis, she does all kinds of things. And she does mystery bags, and she's got £10 ones, which you get at least 80 grams of yarn and then extras. And then there's the £20 ones, which is at least 200 grams of yarn plus extras. And I usually get them, and I haven't this time because I'm trying to not buy stuff and spend money. But if you go on there, if you've not used the yarn before, her yarn is always fantastic. You'll have seen me using her yarn lots of times before. I love it. It's really nice. Always good quality. Never have any hassle with the yarn itself, with the colours, anything like that. So yeah, this is going to get ripped out. And I'm going to use the yarn for something else. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but now that it's not skeined up, I need to use it for something, because that's my thing that I'm doing at the minute. Is I'm trying to work through all of my skeins of yarn that have been like balled up or caked up or whatever, which then leads me to, I decided to start the crochet version again. God, I've got myself in a right bleeding mess here. Now, let's pull that up so it doesn't come off. I am using a 2mm hook for this. The pattern calls for a 2.5, but I'm a pretty loose crocheter, so I'm using a 2mm. Now, the crochet version, you do the cuff at either end after you've done the colour work. So, where are we? This is the colour work I have on this so far. This is exactly the same colour work pattern as the knitting one. You wouldn't think it, would you? It's like so completely different. Now this is using the waistcoat stitch, which I've never used before. If you go to use the waistcoat stitch for something, don't judge it on the first row, right? Because this starts off with single crochet and then you start doing your waistcoat stitch. The first row of waistcoat stitch going into the single crochets almost did me in, and I was like, this is not going to work. I'm not making an entire cowl like this. And then I got a couple of rows into it and it's perfectly fine. So if you've tried doing waistcoat stitch before and you're finding it really, really tight, get a couple of rows in, and when you're pulling your hook through, just make the stitch a little bit taller, so when you go to the next row you've got more space for getting in there. Because a waistcoat stitch is a split single crochet, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but see how all the little V's are sitting on top of each other? And it looks a bit more knitted than crocheted. So normally when you're crocheting, it sort of offsets ever so slightly in every round, and so you end up with a slight twist in it. When you're using the waistcoat stitch, because you're stacking the stitches directly on top of each other, it makes it really good for colour work. So the yarn I'm using for this one is an opal. I've never used opal before, and I know lots of people have used it and said it's really good, and I know a lot of people use it for garments and things, so opal. And then I'm using this. Ooh. This is the one that's attached because it was split into two. I'm using this, which I don't know if you can really see the colour there. It's like pale pinky, lilac-y colours with bits of yellow through it. And this is another one from Yorkshire Dale Yarn. And this one is called Winged Mermaid. And this is a superwash merino. This is a sock yarn. So this is like wool and, it's a 75-25 wool and whatever plasticky stuff it's got. Polyamide. Opal's German. So most of the label is in German, and I don't read German. But I can read enough to know that this is black. It's not helpful. I'm using a 2mm hook for this. It's not hard going to do this. It's quite fiddly. It's the first few rows especially are quite fiddly because it's trying to like twist on itself. It's getting a little bit better now that I'm getting more into the pattern. So yeah, that's my current thing, is working on that mostly. I want to get that finished and I want to get the sock finished. That's my first priorities. The other things, I don't remember what I showed you last time. I don't think I've worked on this. Just granny triangle shawl thing. I can't, oh gosh, hooks everywhere. Hooks flying all over the place. I can't remember if I showed you this. I think I've done a few rows on it since then. All the pattern pieces are out now. This has been a crochet along from Hobby. It was free to take part, and the yarn that I'm using for it is I don't have the yarn label for it because the dog ate it, but this is Yarnsmith's sock in grey. And the other yarn that I'm using, it's the same as this one, only without the yellow in it. It's just the pinks and purples and greys. Twink Knits. And this is an 80/20. Now, I still have, got in a little basket here. I still have that much left of the yarn. So I'm not sure how much of the second ball I'm realistically going to need. But I think I'm on part 4 at the moment, and there's 5 parts. And it's lovely. I was a bit annoyed at the start. I think I mentioned I was a bit annoyed at the lack of information regarding how much yarn you were supposed to use, what weight of yarn, whatever. But the actual pattern itself is being pretty well written. You need to pay a little bit of concentration. You need to pay concentration. No, you don't, Samantha. Shut up. That's bad English. You need to pay a little bit of attention. Clearly, my concentration is going out the window. But yeah, it's coming out quite nicely. I'm not sure, I'm not sure how big it's going to end up being. I might have to do some aggressive blocking on it. God, got crochet hooks everywhere. Oh, I've got fluff on my roses on it. And that's it. So yeah, that's my plans for the rest of this week are going to involve mostly working on this cowl because I need to get that done for a test. I want to try and get a couple of rows a day done on Alfie's blanket. I want to get the socks finished because it's the end of April tomorrow, which means the next socks for Kelly at Roro and Kate is doing a cal for it's the Cozy Toes, 12 Cozy Toes cal, I think, something like that. I've been participating for the rest of the year. It's a 12-month long cal that she's doing, and every 2 months she releases a sock pattern. And no, she doesn't. Every 2 months she gives you money off one of her sock patterns. It's like a 50% discount on the sock pattern for that month, and you have 2 months to knit those socks. And I know what the socks are for May because I won it, and I won the first one, and because I'd already bought and started the socks for, I won the January-February, and because I'd already bought and started the March-April pattern, I got the May-June pattern as part of my pattern pack prize thing. That made so much more sense in my head. If you could follow that, good job. But essentially, I know what the pattern is, so I haven't started them yet because I'm not starting them until like the May thing. But I do have my yarn picked out already, so I want to get these socks finished before I start those ones. And hopefully, because this yarn seems to be a little bit thicker, when I'm saying I want to get these ones finished, this is the ones I want a bit. Because that yarn's a little bit thicker, I'm hoping that they're going to be quite quick to knit up. Because I was using them as my, walking to and from school and waiting around the kids at school socks. But I reckon if I just sit down and just knit on them, I should be able to get them done quite quickly. Hopefully. And now the kids are back at school, and I do lose 2 hours a day with the whole... I don't really lose 2 hours a day because I would need to go and take the hound to the outside. I can't say the word because she'll think that we're doing it. But and obviously I still need to take time out of my day to do that regardless of whether the kids are at school. But I'm still I think I'm still losing about an hour a day with the school run. However, losing an hour a day on the school run kind of offsets against the mum all day. So I think on balance. Oh dear. I'm also rebuilding my website. I had to change my website was up for renewal, which is just crazy. I can't believe it's been a year already since I got the website as part of a digital marketing course that I did last year, and then didn't do anything with it for ages, and then I moved house and everything, so it's been very neglected, and then it's up for renewal. So I have been working on my website a little bit and redoing that, revamping that. So I'm going to be doing some more of that this week. Hopefully by the end of the week I will have a fully functioning website. And once I have the fully functioning website, I'm going to be starting to blog and have a newsletter. So it's all very exciting stuff. I just need a lot more hours in the day to be able to do all the things that I want to do, plus all the knitting and crochet and other crafty things I want to do. So yeah. Oh my goodness. What else have we... I don't think there's like very much life stuff to talk about. Went to the circus. That was fun. I haven't been to the circus since... Oh my goodness. I think I lived in Scotland last time I was at a circus, and I haven't lived in Scotland for 16 years maybe? Longer than that, 17 years since I left Scotland. Believe it or not, I've actually lost some of my accent. I know I still sound a little bit Scottish though. But yeah, the circus was fun. The kids had never been to a circus, before, just because there's never been the opportunity for them to go. And my boyfriend had never been to a circus either. So we went and we had fun. It was good. It wasn't far away from here. It was actually within walking distance of the house. So that was nice. What else have we been up to? Not a lot really. Just, I've not even had time to be playing games on the computer or anything. I did start playing Harry Potter Legacy on the Xbox. That's been kind of fun. It's set before... So you get like the Harry Potter movies, and then the prequels to those are the Fantastic Beasts movies, and this is set before the Fantastic Beasts movies. So it's set quite a long time ago, and that's been pretty good. I've been enjoying that. What else? TV stuff. I have been re-watching Vampire Diaries, and I've been re-watching Angel. Because it's been that long since I've watched any of them, I've forgotten most of the stuff that happened. And I've just needed some nice, easy, brainless stuff at the end of the day for... yeah. And the kids are old enough now where it doesn't really matter if they walk in and they see vampires wandering around on the screen. For the most part. I don't sit and watch it with them, but, you know, I'm not awfully concerned if they do walk in. What else have we been watching? Star Trek, carrying on with Star Trek as well. I'm almost finished with Next Gen now. So I think I'm going to go into Voyager next. And yeah, Doctor Who, yes. I really, really like the new Doctor Who. I think did I speak about Doctor Who before? I'm a big Doctor Who fan, and I have been very much looking forward to the new season starting, and I'm very much enjoying it so far, and I'm glad that they've got a Doctor that I really like, because I wasn't awfully keen on the last couple. Yeah. I mean, everybody has their favourite Doctors. I don't actively dislike them. I just wasn't super, super excited about them, if that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, I really like the new Doctor. I think he plays the part very well. That's about it, really. I've been trying to read a bit more. I still haven't finished The Lost Bookshop. That is literally the book that never ends. I've just been reading some trashy stuff in between. I think I had finished reading or listening to The Time Machine. I think last time I had podcasted, I spoke about that. I've started listening to War of the Worlds. And what else have I started listening to? Oh, Why Mummy Drinks, which is hilarious. It's yeah. I've been listening to it. Somebody's trying to phone me. Why is somebody trying to phone me? So rude. Do they not know that I'm trying to record? I don't think there's anything else. Oh, so the kids are back at school now. Sorry, I'm just trying to get rid of things off my screen. Because I had the thing coming up saying somebody's phoning me, and then I had the thing coming up saying somebody had just tried to phone me. I think I've gone over my plans for the rest of the week. We should be back on a normal schedule now. And once I have cleared up some of my more pressing projects, I am going to get myself like a weekly routine thing, planner. I'm going to try working from a planner and plan my days out properly again, which is a very difficult thing for me to do because I have a squirrel brain. I have ADHD, so planning things does not always go so well. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try and have a basic plan with a little bit of wiggle room. We'll see how that goes. Dear. Right. For someone who didn't have a lot to say, I have talked an awful lot. Thank you very much if you have been here this whole time and stayed till the end. I appreciate everybody who watches. Leave me comments. Let me know what you've been up to. Say hi. I've been trying to be a bit more active on Instagram as well. I know I had said before that Instagram was not really doing it for me, but they've made some changes to the platform and I'm going to try Instagram again and see how I get on with it. And it's nice just to have somewhere where I can post little snippets of day-to-day life, but I am going to try and make it a more business-focused Instagram as well and utilise the stories more for my personal things and try and make my grid look a little more professional instead of just pictures of my dog. So that's something else on the list of things that I need to work on. Right, I will be back next week because I need to try and stay on schedule. And we'll see how much of this stuff I've actually got done. Hopefully I will have some finishes next week. Next week we'll be into a new month. So we'll have a look and see, because do I even have it handy here? No, I don't. It must be over there. Yeah, I've not done very much stuff this month again at all after me complaining about it at the end of last month. But it's fine. It's okay. There is no point in stressing about it. I'm going to go and I will be back next week. If you like the video, if you could give a little like, and if you want to leave comments, leave comments. If you want to tell all your friends about my little podcast. I'm rubbish at this. I'm so rubbish at this. So bad at self-promotion. Right. Yes. Do the likes, the comments, subs, all that sort of stuff, and I will be back next week. Okay. Bye-bye.